Have you ever felt blindsided by a narcissist? I've been there, and it's not about being smart or not. It's about learning strategies that work. I've spent the last 20 years researching self-worth and narcissistic relationships. As a coach, author, and survivor myself, I teach practical systems to help empower you. In this video, I'll share 5 rules that anyone can use to stay in control. Narcissists feed off your emotional reactions, acting like puppet masters, pulling strings to control your emotions and to dictate your responses. Whether it's anger, guilt, frustration, compassion, or embarrassment, they know exactly which strings to pull to shift the power dynamic in their favor. The first rule to shut them down is to stay emotionally neutral. This doesn't mean ignoring how you feel. It's about containing your response, staying flat, and keeping your emotions private. A narcissist might make a passive-aggressive comment at a family gathering, hoping to embarrass you or to push you into defending yourself. Or at work, they might try to blame you for a mistake that they made, aiming to trigger guilt so that you take responsibility. Or in a relationship, they might twist their demands, counting on your compassion to get what they want. Regardless of the bait, their goal is always the same. They want to provoke a specific emotion to control your reaction. And they're really good at this. You might even feel the emotion they're trying to create. You might feel the guilt or the shame or the frustration, and that's okay. Internally acknowledging the emotion is part of staying in control. The only way to win is to remain unresponsive, though. By staying calm and refusing to let their tactics drive your behavior, you shut them down, you take control of the power play, and you leave them with nothing to exploit. By the way, if you're wondering how to assess the level of risk that you're dealing with, I've created a free narcissist protection checklist to help. It's a quick and powerful way to protect yourself and those you love. Just grab it in the description below. Narcissists thrive in ambiguity. They rely on vague answers, over-explaining, or emotional justifications to find cracks in your armor. To outsmart them, you can't let them play that game, though. The second rule to shut down a narcissist is to be clear, because concise communication is polite yet powerful, and it's the only way to win against manipulators. The key here is to make your boundaries non-negotiable. When you use clear language, you're setting a rule that they can't twist or manipulate. For example, if someone is demanding too much of your time, you might want to avoid conflict by saying something open-ended like, "Oh, I might be able to help." Instead, give a clear and brief response like, "I'm not available for that." Notice the difference? The first leaves room for negotiation, and the second just shuts the door. When the rules are clear and there's no room for negotiation, the narcissist is left with nothing to manipulate. Clarity also prevents escalation. Narcissists often push back with guilt or even anger when you try to hold a boundary. But when you keep your communication simple and consistent, it gives them nothing to work with. You also need to avoid over-explaining. You want to think of these conversations like a dead-end road. The less you say, the fewer opportunities they have to twist your words into something they can use against you. The moment you start justifying your choices, you give away your power, and they'll latch onto every word, twisting it into a weakness that they can exploit. By keeping things clear, you're not just communicating what you won't do, you're showing them how interactions with you will work from now on. You're teaching them that there is no room for negotiation. When it comes to narcissists, arguments are rarely what they seem. While most people argue to solve problems or express their perspective, narcissists use arguments as a tool to distract, manipulate, and to provoke reactions. Their goal isn't to resolve a problem, it's to capture your attention. Every word you say gives them a new way to keep the conversation spiraling in their favor. Narcissists are masters at using arguments to keep you stuck in their chaos. They'll throw out accusations that are exaggerated, unfair, blatantly false, knowing that you're going to feel compelled to defend yourself. They might say, "You never listen to me," or "You're just like everyone else who's betrayed me." These statements aren't about truth, they're just bait. And the real danger in dealing with a narcissist is feeling the need to correct them or to set that record straight. Narcissists count on this instinct, your natural desire to fix misunderstandings or to defend yourself when something untrue is said. It's easy to think, if I just explain, they'll understand. But with a narcissist, this instinct plays directly into their hands. The more you engage, the deeper you're going to fall into their web. Recognize this tactic for what it is, a power play. So instead of arguing or trying to prove a point, shut it down with a simple, decisive response. If a narcissist says, "You always make everything about yourself," the best move is to calmly reply, "I'm not going to argue about this." It's clear, it's firm, and it leaves no room for debate. When you let go of the need to correct or to clarify, you take away their power. Nothing frustrates them more than someone who refuses to play their game. By staying calm and refusing to argue, you're not just silencing the narcissist, you're reclaiming your own energy and your own power. One of the most important rules for taking back control from a narcissist is to stop enabling their behavior. But enabling isn't always so obvious, and it rarely looks toxic on the surface. At its core, enabling means buffering or changing the natural consequences of someone else's actions. Instead of letting them face the results of their own behavior, it's when you step in to soften the blow or to smooth things over or to keep the peace. Many of us do this because we confuse enabling with love. And when you've been taught that love means sacrificing for others, even at your own expense, it's easy to believe that saying no is selfish. You might feel like keeping the peace is more important than standing your ground, or that avoiding conflict will make everything smoother in the long run. Even worse, you might be punished for not giving them exactly what they want, so enabling starts to feel like the safest choice. But when you enable a narcissist, you give them more power while losing a piece of yourself. So if they forget to pay a bill or overspend, instead of covering the cost, it would mean that you step back and let them deal with the fallout. Or if they demand your time and you're stretched thin, you say, "I can't do that right now," and you stick to it no matter how much pressure they apply. Or if they lash out with hurtful comments, you don't excuse that behavior and you don't tell yourself that they're just having a bad day. You calmly call it what it is and you refuse to engage further. Narcissists rely on your sense of duty, responsibility, and empathy to keep you in their game. They know how to manipulate your willingness to go that extra mile and to frame their demands as reasonable or even necessary. Every time you cover for them or fix their problems, they're getting exactly what they want. The rule is simple: stop protecting them from the consequences of their own action. And when you let a narcissist face those results of their own behavior, their tactics lose power and they're left to handle the outcome themselves. By stepping back, you're not being unkind. You're allowing accountability to do the work for you. To truly win against a narcissist, you've got to stop playing their game altogether. This isn't about giving up. It's about refusing to waste your energy on someone who thrives on conflict and control. This is why silence is the ultimate empowerment move. It puts your peace and self-worth above their manipulative tactics. By remaining silent, you communicate that you're not obligated to give your time, energy, or attention to someone who uses it to manipulate or to control you. It's a powerful form of resistance, and narcissists hate it. It doesn't mean that you remain forever silent all the time, but it does mean that you use silence to convey that you're in charge of your own life. This might look like refusing to reply to a text, or choosing not to engage in an argument, or letting a phone call go to voicemail. When you refuse to engage, they're left with nothing to exploit. If a response is necessary, a neutral, dead-end reply like, "That doesn't work for me," or using gray rock methods, staying unresponsive and uninterested, can stop the cycle before it starts. For more toxic dynamics, withdrawal might mean leaving the group text, blocking their number, or even going no contact altogether. At work, it could be as significant as asking for a reassignment or choosing to disengage emotionally from their attempts to push your boundaries. Regardless of the situation, by refusing to engage, you're showing that you're not available for manipulation. The ultimate power move isn't about proving anything to them. It's about making the choice to invest in yourself instead. Hey, thanks so much for watching. YouTube thinks you're going to love this video right here on the screen, so go ahead and click it. It's packed with more tools to spot narcissists, avoid manipulation, and build boundaries that actually work. Don't miss it. It's the next step to creating the life you deserve. Okay, I'll see you over there. Bye.